Why do I say so? When Marwa was forcing me to talk to my father, and my father sell them a land that belongs to the upper section of Marwa Villa. The Congress that called me and told me that, Gintu, can you go and convince your father to sell us this land? I said, why? Kijana yangu, Tata, was now talking about Freddy, who is now Marwa. I need that piece of land, and I have to talk to my father very crucially, and to make sure that he's selling them that kind of the piece of land. Then I went to my father and asked him, do you wish to sell a land to Mr. Ondari? Talk about Marwa there. He told me that, who told you I can sell a land? I don't sell anything that I've bought. I told him that, go and clear the mess. My father himself, he came up to the top there and called me, phoned me. Where are you? I talked about I was at the villa. Call me Mr. Ondari and also call me Marwa. I called them and I told them, let's meet to the other side of the river. My father wants to meet you. Even Marwa sent me to go and take the father from their home so I can come with him. When we came, my father said, this tree and the other tree is the boundary. Hello, beautiful people, wherever you are. I've come to get a wandering view of today. Is that right now I'm just passing through here and from Mogesi's position here, and I'm finding the guy who sold this kind of the land here. Today Mwango is talking about telling the child that let's go and pee, and also let's go and poo here, and it's going to the maze. And yet, you know, sometimes we have some talk about some minds that are not elusive at this kind of the juncture. Oh, I like the progress. The Mwango is making the progress. Thank you. So everything is fantastic. So guys, as far as everything is in concern, I don't like this kind of a nature whereby much of the people, they can just make sure that everything is coming to you live, which is one-on-one, but they cannot tell much of the people that this is not the way it should be, or this is the way it should be at this kind of the juncture, and tell the guy that, oh, you know, we have sold this kind of the land, but what you have to do is this at this particular rate, or this at this particular time. So I want to be getting to my own way here so that I can just get to the fish farm, because oh, there's a highway that is just already left here. They have fenced everything is properly here. Exactly. I like this kind of the nature. The good fact is a person cannot be told about this is the real way of us to get forward, and be told the reality that whenever we give you this kind of the money, do this and then and this. Right now is going to the maize green toilets for a flying toilet, yet he has money, and right now there's no money again. Right now, guys, and I'm telling you, there's no money. Right now you're going to be talking about you're going to be selling another land already, so which is not a part of our topics here right now. So the fact is everything's fantastic. I'm going to be passing and showing you what is really happening to the village here, because I'm getting in I don't want to get through the way talk about in terms of getting to my fish farm there, because much of the people, they know that, oh, Gintu gonna be coming with the weight, so I have to cut, because I'm told that much of the children, they are going there, and much of the bigger people, they are going there to harvest my fish. So I want to be checking them one-on-one, so that if I can just get them, they want to be checking what is really happening here. So the good fact is I appreciate the good moment that we have just already lured here, and already we have seen much of the people are making the progresses, and the things are just running very okay, and everything is so fantastic at this kind of the level. But we have much of the problems here in the village, and the village has to continue despite we have the challenges that had already occurred unto us. But we say that that is the real life situation of the time, and we have to grow and be stronger with it as we just get forward as far as everything is in concern. So at this kind of the point, I'll take this kind of the opportunity to talk about I appreciate everybody who has been tuned and also locked in, because much of the things are happening, and we have made it happen, and also we are still arranging this kind of the funeral to make it happen. So right now, much of the people will be talking about, oh, Gintu, now you're out. No, a little bit, to make sure that I'm just checking on the environment, because I have an asset of fish farming here, and due to this kind of the way of us getting to the funeral here and there, maybe busy in this kind of the manner or busy in the other way, so it's bringing much of the time talking about, oh, it's gonna be so hectic at this kind of moment. So I'm just reaching to Ernesto's fish pond here, so I can just see. Even sometimes I have to change the environment, which is the best. Oh, I see even Marwa there is trying the best to make it happen. Hey, talking about a garage, yeah? So everything is possible. So everybody has to try the best to make it happen. So that is the way of us to get forward. So the best moment is, let me go. Let me check the spot here. It's watery here. Everybody should come with a, let's look at the shoes. You should come with a gumboot, and here you have to jump like something else. Exactly. So guys, the owner of this kind of the fish pond is dead, and that's the fact. So and even today, it's the day you're gonna be buried. That's the fact about this kind of an area here. So I don't know if much of the people now are gonna be dying, whoever are just surrounding this kind of the compound. I don't know. It might be a shenanigan and a telenovela coming, because much of the people are just now surrounding here. They are dead completely. You can now imagine, guys. You cannot imagine, because much of the people are just passing through this kind of an area. Whoever is just aligned alongside this kind of an area, it's already dying. I don't know. I don't know why, but we have to say that we have to go forward. And much of the people, because the owner of this kind of the plot is dead. The other one, the owner of Percy, is dead. Who else? The owner of that plot up there is dead. The owner of the other plot there called Chachas is dead. The other guy who they bought much of the land so they can just plant much of the things is dead. I don't know. I don't know why this kind of the things are happening, but God forbid. We have to say how the fact is, and we have to say how the things go. So I don't know. Whoever can sense that we can sense, I don't know how we can just fulfill that kind of the moment, because we have to understand each other this kind of the rate. Because right now, whoever is just surrounding the villa, you have to make sure that you are so cautious. And anytime you can find yourself migrating without you knowing. I don't know why. I don't know. Because everybody who is now surrounding the villa, your days are numbered. If you I don't know, guys. That's the real fact that I can just tell you, because it's like a breaking news we're gonna be having here, because so many people have died, and much of them are who are surrounding. My father is just around here, is already gone and gone forever, with the same person who is surrounding there, gone and gone forever. I don't know what's really popping out at the village, but we have to say that that is the way of nature to get forward. So the good fact is, I'm not talking about is the one who is heading everything that we're going to be occurring. Sometimes we talk about why is it happening. I'm talking about why is it happening, and absolutely we have to answer ourselves here that it's the nature, and the ecosystem is accepting it to happen, because it's like a food chain. Everything wants to benefit with its own beneficiaries. That is the real fact. So I've come to the fish farm here because I'm told that much of the boys, they have come to check on much of the things here. I don't know which kind of the boys they are coming to get much of the stuff from the fish farm here, and get the cows to come and graze here. So right now I have just talked about I don't need any kind of the cows inside here, because that is the nature. That's what I want to do, because much of the people are coming to talk about Thai and get the cows to this kind of the nature. At long last, they are coming to disrupt the trees. They are coming to put much of the quagmires at this kind of the rate, because I said it. And look at this kind of the way. So much of the people are still coming to this kind of the point to do their own shenanigans here. And this is what I have just abolished, because I planted much of the trees here to make sure that they're going to be helping this kind of an environment. Talk about soil erosion. Look at that kind of the side there. It's really collapsing. It's really collapsing. That's the real fact, because if we don't put the effort of making sure they're going to be planting here some of the trees, because I was oriented with this kind of the guy called a Jamaican uncle. He's the one oriented and talked about Gintu, you have to plant here much of the trees. Look at this kind of the sector. This is where water is passing through. This is water has brought this kind of the stuffs here, because this is even a tree. So even this kind of the tree, it's supportive, and it can just act as an immediate talk about blockage of the stuffs here. It means that we are having much of the good moment. Look at this kind of an area. So it's going to be having much of water. So that's what I want to control. This kind of the trees will be helping this kind of the sector. And I've said that even if I get somebody who is coming to disrupt this kind of the side, we shall talk perpendicularly, because sometimes we have people who are so headache, tough-headed, and we have such kind of a problem that is heading from every position and to every position. Even right now, they are now stealing my yams. These are the stuffs that it's right now. Look at this. Even it's just still green. It means that somebody is already coming to steal this kind of, we can call them arrowroots here. So it means that these are the people who I was told that people were just disrupting the fish pond here. I don't know why they're just acting. It's just like sometimes you have people who are absent-minded. They think about somebody who is the owner should be there, must be there, so as everything will be maintained, which is a stupidical and stupidity of the highest order. I don't know why much of the people have such kind of the insecurity, and they think about somebody should be there for this kind of the performance. And I want to be telling them that don't worry about it, because when I will deal with it perpendicularly per unit time, it will act so good. Because sometimes you don't need people to attempt and talk about, and when the law will just be enforced, and we get somebody and talk about now you're going to be facing the law, they'll talk about, Gintu, no, you understand, my father and your father, our father and your father, they are friends, they were friends, and you understand that this kind of the things die here. And it's because of something that we always talk about, because I've refused that even the cows that I know, even if you are my friend, I don't need anybody to bring here much of the cows, because this territory is out of bounds, and people have to understand it, but people don't understand. And maybe they want to see the law enforced. Sometimes, let me tell you guys, sometimes we have a defect as human beings. And even if you talk about now, you're going to be so nice to everybody, they're going to be thinking about now, Gintu can never do anything, this kind of the rate. Sometimes you have to show them fire. Sometimes I have to act like the Congrats dad here. I have to wear the face of the Congrats dad, so that I can act here perpendicularly per unit time. Because people don't want to see this kind of the point, and that's why sometimes I do like the conduct. Why? Because it doesn't need nonsense. Whenever you are just there, nobody can pass through your area. That's the good thing about it. And also, is a no-go zone. Is a no-go zone. So even if I don't want to be like him, but I want to wear the mood of him, so as I can make sure that this kind of the people are coming to a temple. Right now, guys, we are having a funeral at my home. Talk about I lost my dad. And that is the fact. Because a person can talk about now, Gintu is consistently, and cannot come to this kind of the area, and everything is so fantastic. There's nothing can just come right now, they are there. And sometimes they have phones. They call themselves that, Gintu has come out. They have a representative who is representing them at my home there. Talk about, Gintu is in, Gintu is out. Who is in? Just track him, so they can just make sure that we are doing much of the terrible things at this kind of the farm here. So the good fact is already I have the details, and I have every kind of the way of how to manage this kind of the things here. So guys, that is the real fact that is bringing much of the problem, and to us, and also to the environment, because whenever they spot, there's things we call the opportunists. And this kind of the opportunist is what I always talk about. If we live and we believe that what we are doing is good and right at the same time, and we don't take opportunistics and talk about we're going to be doing this A, B, C, D at this kind of the rate. I don't understand what's really happening. Too much of the people are thinking about, even guys, I can tell you this is a fact. my father's phone, whenever my father lost life, because I was at home, nobody, whenever he just lost the life, somebody stole the phone. So you can imagine such kind of a scenario and such kind of an attempt, how it is, at which kind of the rate, and how you're going to be handled. The fact is always one, and I will just say it. How are you going to be using the phone of a deceased person and talk about you are now, how? And now what do you want to go and check? Is it money that maybe the father died and they got the money was there? Sometimes everybody was born with his own mind. But when we come closer and just restart, talk about how are we going to be handling this kind of the way, we have to think critically and think properly. Because if we don't think properly, we are underestimated. At which kind of the rate? Much of the people, they have to understand and they have to be told. And it's not a must that, oh, you know, this kind of the thing should be done this way and don't do this one. Even a human being who is even getting more of the brain, that's why sometimes I talked about, even sometimes pigs and dogs, they have good IQ than a human being. How are you have seen somebody is deceased here, and you're thinking about what I can only benefit from this kind of the deceased person is the mobile phone. Up to today, I've never found the mobile phone of my father when he was deceased. And that's the fact. Because nobody was having that kind of a juncture of a moment of talking about, give me the phone. Everybody was flabbergasted. Everybody was, oh my living God, is it that true? Is it real? Is it happening this way? So sometimes we have to understand how the program is. And those are the human beings we have. So they can complete the cycle. And we have to have them who are insane, who are mentally, who are stupid, so they can just complete the cycle, talk about the cycle of the life. It has to have those kind of the people. It has to be occupied by this kind of the people. But the fact is we have to go forward. And yes, they benefited with the phone. And how can you just go and use a phone of a deceased person? You have ever, you know, sometimes, guys, you are sitting somewhere with somebody's deceased phone and talking about now I have just won a phone here. And yet you are in the hospital. It's so sad. It is so sad. It is so sad. And if we come to the real realization of how a human being thinks, sometimes we can talk about the IQ of a human being. Some of them is lower than even a pig. Even a sheep is at least some of the human beings here. You know, now we came to realize when everybody had been crying, east, west, and south, everybody has been talking about what am I going to do at this kind of the rate? What am I going to do at this kind of the moment? How am I going to react? Some people are crying terribly. Some of the people are fainting. Because my dad was a father, was an uncle, was a grandfather, and was a friend, and also was a spokesperson to other people. So everybody will be touched, and emotionally, it will alive with how you ever knew the presence of Mzee Sigano. I'm going to be talking about, like me, is the one who oriented me with this kind of the fish ponds here. So right now, nobody can come to talk about or get into these fish ponds here. They belong to I don't know who. They want to know what to do. He was the one who was managing me here. And he was the one who taught me how to do the fishing. Because he has left the legacy. I prevail with it. And they're going to be helping also my younger siblings. Even if we have talk about bigger brothers, we can help each other here. We can find that even me, I'm at a good position of helping even my big brother. I'm at a good position of helping the siblings here. And this kind of the fish farming here, it will help us to grow and to grow together and make it happen. But even it's not possible to find that even my brothers, you can find now, they're going to be starting a fight. It's not impossible. It's going to be there. It's not impossible. Because everybody has to get the entitlement that this is the point, the other is another point, so they can understand ourselves. It might have in a way that, why did my father reach there and why am I starting from there? Because my father has two wives, I've said it. The home here, it's the second wife home. And where I am, it's my land that I'm occupying here. To make sure that my father reached there and I finished this kind of concern. I was hearing much of the people talking about, oh, Gintu, the fish farm belongs to your dad. Stupidical. They don't understand. Because you can never know what is Gintu's home and talk about, oh, how you can just think about it. So the good fact is, and I'm telling you as a fact, I started fish farming here even before. And much of the people, they know me. And even we had much of the fights here. My father was the one who was coming and telling me that, calm down. When you have an asset, you should have much of the problems. Talk about the demagogic people who will be coming here and there to trespass. We have to have them. And you should compensate yourself and think about, we have them. That's why I'm talking about even insane people, we have them. A person can think about how you have just taken a deceased person's phone and you go and use it. And you can talk about, you know, this kind of the phone, I took it from the mortuary, or I take it from the deceased person besides the deceased person, or I took it from the court, and because he was dying, I took it so as he can never know, because he was not seeing. You can find a person is talking such. It's not impossible. Possible to human being. That is the nature. And they should be there to complete the cycle. Gintu, they're having burial ceremony at their home, but the person can tell you that I want to take that an advantage of coming and fishing here because they are not here. We have to have them and complete the cycle. But when you get them, you'll hear now their families talking about, please, we are sorry, our family and your family Gintu, we are friends. Even your dad, before he could die, they were friends. It is possible. And I understand, because I was grown up with my father in a way that I am understandable. I can understand whatever comes. And I can really understand that I can program that this is the reality and this is not the reality. Sometimes I'm having a problem also. Sometimes you can find that how Gintu is right today, it's not the way much of the people expected Gintu to be. You understand it. Because when I can give out the story of myself and how my father had been a help to me, and even daily, waking up, taking a chair, sitting outside of my G castle, looking at how the construction is, doing ABCD, and understanding that he has to be there and see how the modern construction is. And he was telling me that one. There are people who will ever hate me. Those are, they are now mating. You can hear some of the voices of, they are called bees. They are mating. I think they have a queen now, they are just mating, exactly. So I like that kind of the process. I like it. The drones and the queens there, they are now mating there. I like that kind of a process because you understand, to human beings, it's nature. Yeah. So the good fact is you can find that there's somebody who is not feeling good whenever they see that even Gintu is no longer the way they thought about. Most of the people, they are coming, even if it's a burial ceremony, they are coming not only to say that I want to go to that home. They want to come and see which progress do you have. Some of the people, they have an attitude of knowing that when I go there, I want to understand what is really performed there. Some of the people, they know attention that whenever I go there, that kind of a home, Gintu, they have money. This kind of a home, they're going to be having money. So let's go and eat. Everybody has his own mission. Everybody has his own intentions. And they understand it. And that's the way I'm always talking about. To human beings, we have to have those kind of the people to complete the cycle. We have to be. Even if we are brothers, we are having much of the brothers whom I'm having, they don't like me. And I have brothers and sisters who liked me. So not everybody will ever love you, including your brothers and sisters. That's the fact. You have to understand it from wherever you are. How many brothers are fighting? And the same scenario like right now. My father is deceased. We have a bigger scenario, a bigger platform here. We're going to be talking about, no, it is this way. the other house to this house, from this one to the other one. It's not the first time we are quarreling about the fish pond. Not the first time. Talking about how they were complaining to that how did Gintu get a share where he should not get a share. And I talked about Gintu is not getting a share. He bought the land. They don't understand. And that's why sometimes you find that a person has helped you in 2-3 things. Look at this kind of a scenario. You get somebody and tells you that, babe, I love you. I want to make sure that get you to school. You get her to school. She learns. You pay much of the money. Pay the dowry. At long last, you get the lady whenever she was in that school, she got who is more preferred, who is more classy than you. What does it mean at this kind of the rate? Somebody tells me. What can you rate at this kind of the moment? It's the same. We are not left in a way that we have to quarrel or do whatever is bad. But we have a home here of my mother, stepmother. But my father will be just launched here. That's the fact. My father will be launched here. And also because he has 2 homes, he has to be launched here and again be taken to my home where now the funeral services will be. He can never be this kind of the land up here. Guys, let me show you where it starts. This land that I'm having here, it's the land that my father bought. So they can put the second wife here. This land is from here. You can even see from this kind of a zone. The other one, it's mine until the fish pond's there. From here to the top, it's my father's asset. And this is where he bought my stepmother to stay. And my father, you can never be buried in an asset that you bought if you have an ancestral land. So my mom is the one who is remaining at the ancestral land to make sure that she is controlling 2-3 things, how they're going to be happening. I understand. Because when my father was introduced in this zone, even before Marwa was born, even before talk about the Mwangu were born, even during that time, it's when now the Congress dad was now migrating to this kind of the side. What happened to this kind of the juncture? My father introduced something unique called business agriculture. My father was performing agriculture that I said that he was the head of he was an agriculturist at that kind of the particular time. And he was performing it better. And much of the people, they could understand. They know whatever I'm saying about. So he's the one, my father was the one who was selling cows, talk about the daily cows, to the villagers who are talking about, oh, Mr. Sigano is called Mukulima. Mukulima has a very good breed of, they were called Jersey. And it was fantastic. Much of the people were coming, buying the calves and going. He was the first person introduced planting grass in a lane. Talk about napier grass. Much of the people they are planting are like broadcasting the napier grass. That is the right. So much of the people, they know the legacy. Even right now, there's no food will ever have a problem to my home. Why do I say so? Because much of the people, they know that they are going where the legacy had already, the foundation had been laid already. And we don't want to fail it. Because on Saturday, which is a date, let me check it. On Saturday will be date 14. We are going to have the fundraising. And that fundraising, it will be helping us in clearing some of the bills. Talk about the morgue bills. Talk about we are having younger siblings. They're going to be going back to school. They have to be taken care of. This is the home, the second home of my father. This is the second home of my father. So he has been the legend to the village. has been the legend controlling everything. It's only one young boy who has not yet finished the Form 4, only, who is in now next year, could just go to Form 1, which is the high school, which is the best. He has done the best. There's no more of talking about, oh, he has not done this, he has been this way. No. And he's a person who was ever understandable. Why do I say so? When Marwa was forcing me to talk to my father, and my father sell them a land that belongs to the upper section of Marwa Villa, the Congress dad called me and told me that, Gintu, can you go and convince your father to sell us this land? I said, why? Kijana yangu, Tata, was now talking about Freddy, who is now a Marwa, need that piece of land, and I have to talk to my father very crucially, and to make sure that he's selling them that kind of the piece of land. Then I went to my father and asked him, do you wish to sell a land to Mr. Ondari? Talk about Marwa there. He told me that, who told you I can sell a land? I don't sell anything that I've bought. I told him that, go and clear the mess. My father himself, he came up to the top there and called me, phoned me. Where are you? I talked about I was at the villa. Call me Mr. Ondari and also call me Marwa. I called them and I told them, let's meet to the other side of the river. My father wants to meet you. Even Marwa sent me to go and take the father from their home so I can come with him. When we came, my father said, this tree and the other tree is the boundary. I don't sell the land. Do whatever you want to do at your side, but don't come across this kind of the two trees. And that's how he cut the matter short. And that's why now Gintu was taken as a bad person, that I've just incited my father not to sell our land. So when this kind of the occasion is happening, we have to understand that we have the legitimate legacy. My father told me, whoever is buying land right now, he knows the benefit of that land. You can never go and spot that I want this kind of a piece of land aimlessly, without knowing the benefit of that land. It will be terrible. You have to understand this is the real fact, and this land can have this kind of the beneficial to me. That is the fact that my father was doing. And I can just appreciate the effort. Because if it could be like the other fathers talking about, oh, even me, I'm about to die. Oh, even me. If it could be another person, he could have said it. Even my father, it reached a time he wanted to sell a land so as he can take Sigano to school. And I said about, no, that should not happen. Let us contribute as a family and make it. I know even to the burial ceremony. Guys, I know people. They'll try to talk about, oh, A, B, C, D. But the real fact I'm telling out, that nobody will come out and talk nonsense while we are watching. People will come now to intervene and talk stupid words so they can provoke us or they can humiliate us because of the problem. Maybe my father had no legacy with you. Maybe my father had no good proposal time with you. Maybe my father never lectured you sometimes. Maybe my father hated you because of the stupid ideas or some whatever talk about beef you're going to be having. So you might be talking about you don't know. You might come and start talking about lunatic words. And to that fact, we are going to maintain law and order. And I'm the one to initiate it. Because we can never be talking about, you understand, whenever people are going to be coming, they are now spreading too much of the words. They can propaganda. It's called propaganda or propagandarize. This kind of the statement from A, B, C. You will get it at the Z there. It's totally changed. Even the theme is changed. And we'll be talking about, oh my living God. How did this word change from this and to this? And how did it reach at this kind of the problem? It's people Not everybody likes you. Not everybody like Gintu. Not everybody like my mother. Not everybody like my younger siblings. Nobody like the bigger siblings. I talk about my younger brothers, my elder brothers. Not everybody. And not everybody will talk about good about the father also. Everybody has a failure. That is it. If you cannot understand the failure that a human being has an error, you're going to be a mad person. And the cycle should have us here. Because even the food chain combined everything. The arrow points the eater. That is it. So we have to understand and program how things go, how things by fault, how things can happen. Because you can never know what is tomorrow coming. That is it. We know, even our family, we have hate. Yeah, it's there. Nobody can tell you that everybody likes Gint the way he is. No. Even every family has a quarrel. There must be a person you hate. There must be a person you love. That is it. But my father tried to put it down, to make sure that Gintu is going hand in hand with another step brother. Gintu is in a good condition with another person. We are having failures, but we have to understand them. And I have my own legacy to prevail. And the legacy does prevail when Gintu is there. And there's nothing will ever come to humiliate, disturb, distort, and bring some of the shenanigans. Because on Saturday, we're going to be having a fundraising. A person who feels comfortable to talk about we're going to be helping Gintu with the fundraising, thank you very much. Whereas I can just send off Mzee Sigano in a well, peaceful way. I know most of the people will come and talk about, yes, this kind of the YouTube. It's becoming something which is monotonous, that it's going to be over Freemason. We understand. I know much of the people coming, they talk about A, B, C, D about it. But the good fact is they are eating whatever Gintu is producing. Already they are eating Freemason then. So sometimes people have to think critically. And they might hate me because Gintu, 1 year ago, 2 years ago, Gintu was something that you can never recognize. But right now, we might be recognized at this kind of the juncture because God is not wearing a short. And people supporting Gintu, continue supporting me. Even I can just shed some of the tears here, guys. And that is the fact. Because to the real fact of the time, I know the legitimate way of us to get forward. Not everybody will talk about it. He appreciates you with whatever small you will have. Even if they will benefit from you in indirect way, they'll never trust you. Even right now, I'm not trusted. That is it. So not that I should be there to be trusted, to show myself that, oh, I'm here. Oh, how is it? Oh, A, B, C, D. No! That will be a failure of the highest order. Whoever want to hate you will hate you. Whoever want to talk about they have to get forward, that is it. Let's go. But the real fact, my dad will be laid in a good, comfortable way and in a well, simultaneous way and make it happen. That is the juncture. That is the moment. And that is even if we can just wake up and talk about, yeah, this is the way I needed it. We might be having, yes, we might be having this the second home of my father. But it is so quiet. Nobody's here. Why is everybody there? You have to restatement and understand properly. Because every time we have to, some people will just be propagating. Yes, in the tradition, it could be that this kind of the home also could be performing the burial ceremony also. And my home, because of 2 wives there, we might be. But at the point, why is it happening to my home but not happening here? We might be criticized, but there's a failure somewhere. I'll say the truth because there's a failure somewhere. What is really happening? We might be having hate because my father, everybody is going there, is not coming here. We might be having a hate. But at the end of the moment, who will be losing? Who will be in trouble? We, the grassroots, we, the people, will be stepped on. People will come and go. They leave us the way we are. And nobody will ever come to intermediate and talk about, yeah, this is a family. We have to say this. No. We have to understand it properly and understand that this is the junction of us to get forward. In the tradition say, we should have the burial ceremony, talk about the ceremony, funeral ceremony, and the funeral ceremony at my home. 2 homes. Because my father will be taken here before he could just be laid for internal peace. He have to be taken here to launch the house and go back there. So he can be buried back there to ancestral land. What is the failure now? It's not happening here. So we have a question mark to be put. Some people will come to hate that kind of a simple thing. Talk about maybe the sisters to the home. Talk about the mothers who related to the home. Talk about the aunties related to the home. They might be having that kind of an urge that why not this home? Why not that? Why not this? Why not the Kibe? Why not Alex? Why not it should be there? But the good thing is, we understand the strategy. Support Gintu, support me, so you can just make it. You can just share your funds if you're going to be supporting in terms of funds. You can contribute via Western Union, MoneyGram, or Ria Money. Name is Samson Gintu Sigano. If you want to be using MoneyGram or Ria Money. And the phone is +254 700 490047. You can get me. If you wish to send direct with Remitry, send wave, and any kind of chap, you can make it. +254 700 490047. Let's make it happen. If guys you have not supported Gintu, even if you're saying condolences, thank you very much. It's a very good help, and it helps me to get stronger every time. And from that, I say that we are humble. And if we're going to be talking about, we're going to be doing anything very fantastic, let's get forward and make it happen. I really appreciate the moment, and kudos to everyone who has been watching. I'm going to be having some of the 2 shoppings there at the center to make sure that I'm just taking care of the guests who are coming every time and then. Guys, somebody who is helping Gintu to make it happen. I'm also fantastic, and I appreciate the moment, and we're going to be making it happen. And this is the time for my dad to lay in peace, internal peace. And I appreciate the moment. I'm going to be reporting live, one-on-one. Let me get to the town and also make sure that everything is coming to you live, which is one-on-one. And this is the fantastic way and a good video I've just made for you to understand that you might be seeing people walking. But which thing is walking is something else. It's not the person you think. It's another thing. Hello beautiful people, wherever you are, welcome back. Gintu back again to the root of today. Here we are, it's one-on-one live coverage that I'm just here to buy much of the meat we're meeting here. Hey man, it should reach down. Fantastic. Exactly. So you have to add some little, exactly. Little inside there. Exactly. So guys, I'm purchasing a little bit of talk about the meat here for we have much of the guests who are just coming every time and then to make sure we're gonna be welcoming them, and we're gonna be having some of 2-3 dishes here. I have my friends, and much of the people are just decommalizing to make sure they're gonna be having the point to getting forward here as far as everything is in concern. So we're just packaging. That's a 3 kg here, and the package is 500 shillings. And we're going to be making sure that everything is so fantastic at this kind of the frame. So I've just got the meat which is so pure, even if it's just a red meat here, but you have to understand the little fact that we have to get it burnt. So everything was the way it is. And everyone being tuned, thank you very much for you being tuned and locked in. And we're going to be making it happen. And if you have never subscribed, like, share, comment, because kudos and congratulations to me again, because I've just reached 8,000 subscribers and we are just moving very fantastic here. So I appreciate that kind of the moment. Guys, we are having much of the session. Today is the 5th day, and we are having this kind of the funeral services just undergoing, because we're going to be making it happen. So we have already arranged much of the things that are already getting forward. So this is not just enough for much of the people, but it's going to be serving the guests who are just coming. Talk about my brothers now going to be coming from talk about Nairobi, from wherever they were just working, because they will get this kind of a point to come back home, so they can just get on with this kind of the funeral getting forward. So the fact is we have to get it forward and make it happen here. So I have to pay much of the money. There's the money, man. Thank you very much. So, guys, we are making it happen, and also we're gonna be having much of the arrangement that we have just already done here, and there to make sure that we are just getting forward at this kind of the point. So keep it tuned, keep it locked, because I'm gonna be getting into my home there, so they can just check what's really happening at this kind of the time, and we understand what's really popping out at this kind of the Caribbean, and appreciate the much of the people are just supporting and making sure they're gonna be growing together as a team, and also subscribing, liking, and sharing. Everything gonna be coming to you live, which is one-on-one. There's no much of quackmayas and quagmayas and whatever gonna be coming. No, there's no much of talking about telenovela and hula baloos here. So everything has to go front. They have just already decommunalized. Here it's just Nyamwaze, and everything is just performed. The work is ongoing, but right now I don't know. The economy is so bad. Even there's no much of the motorbike buses here. I don't know why. And I see much of the students here going back to school. That's the nature in Nyamwaze right now, because much of the schools have been spotted and talk about that is just the hula baloos of the day. We have to understand how the gauge is always coming out. So as far as everything is in concern, we're gonna be getting to coming back to the session so they can just groove together as a team and make it happen. Keep it on, keep it locked. We're gonna be coming back to you to this kind of the session. Let's go tangle the moment. Guys, we are back. I'm just heading to, just told that at the fish farm there a little bit, we're gonna be having some problems there. I want to reach there so that I can just check out what really performed or what really are happening at the street right now, and understand it properly, because I want to check, because I'm told that there's an emergency in a fish farm there, so they can just go there and check what's really happening at that kind of a juncture, so they can have it handled one-on-one, because much of the people, you understand right now, we are at a bad situation, talk about a very bad situation right now at home, and due to the funeral, the services that just handled at my home here. So have much of the people now, they think about they're going to be handling themselves, thinking about going to be now tampering with the whatever going to be belong to us. So this is the hospital that my dad passed on to. It's called a Mamo Memorial here, and that's the place that my father lost the life was at that kind of the hospital. So it's not far away from my home. It's just a walking distance from my home. So what I can just talk is, those are just illegal stuffs getting from Tanzania to Kenya. This is a very big highway that is being used in terms of transporting illegal stuffs. We have to understand. So the good fact is when we can just consider to understand what's really performed. Right now everybody's just busy talking about, oh, what's really handled at the grassroots here and there and such kind of the 2-3 things here. But it reaches at a time now people want to use it that, oh, now Gintu they are at home, now these people are just this way, so they're going to be getting to my fish farm, because it's very far away from home. So they're going to be thinking about, they're going to be tampering with this kind of the way. Exactly. So guys, I want to check there because it's gonna be a bigger emergency. I wanna be knowing how I'm gonna be handling it one-on-one, because I don't want much of the crackatoos of the day. Niaje. Safi, I don't want much of the crackatoos of the time talking about east, west and south. Right now everybody is you can find that I'm so sad enough to talk about I'm gonna be doing some of the things that are not even acceptable here. So the good fact is I understand. So I want to be checking that, because I'm told that now much of the people have taken the privilege to go and now take much of their cows to the fish farm there. I want to get there so they can just understand, is it a real thing that is just they're just doing, or much of the people are just faking this kind of the way forward here. Exactly. So guys, just a very good way here that I'm just using to get there. So I want to be checking what's really performed here.